Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome your Master of Ceremonies, a 14-year United States Air Force veteran, a humanitarian, a nonprofit CEO, and a community servant. A few of his accolades include the Don Eagle NCCJ Humanitarian of the Year Award, the Arizona Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Living the Dream Award, the Most Influential Business Leader. That's from the Business Journal, Arizona's Power People, Power Magazine, the inaugural MLK Advocate of Equity Hall of Fame, National Bar Association, Arizona Diversity Pipeline Program. He's 100 Influential People of Minority Economic Development in the United States from the Minority Business USA magazine. Arizona Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Kelvin C. Goode Lifetime Achievement Award, Phoenix Humanitarian Relations Commissions, and most recently, he was inducted into the Arizona Veterans Hall of Fame Class of 2022. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to the remarkable Ron Williams.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Amazon 37th Annual Arizona MLK Awards Scholarship Breakfast. As we start the 37th year of this celebration, we are pleased to be back in person after 2 years of virtual celebrations. Thank God for that. We are certainly blessed to have the Arizona OIC President and CEO, Dr. Blue, still leading us in our work on this committee. We also want to sincerely thank all of you for joining us this morning. We're very proud to welcome Amazon as our legacy title sponsor this year as we recognize some very deserving volunteers from our Arizona community. We're also very honored to have the state of Arizona governor join us this morning. It's been a while since we had the governor at this awards breakfast. Join me as we welcome Governor Hobbs. Let's give her a warm welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Governor Hobbs. Now, you all saw our torch runners in their 17th year here lined up, and they lead our procession of honorees in each year to symbolize the passing of the torch to the youth. The torch runners run from City Hall to open up our program each year, and it's good to be back to have them here for another year. Now, please remain seated as we welcome our procession of 2023 Arizona MLK Award honorees. This honoree is being escorted by Dr. Will Counts. Dr. Counts is a 2012 Arizona MLK Living the Dream honoree, chair of the MLK Henry Barnwell Scholarship Fund. Please welcome your 2023 Arizona MLK Living the Dream honoree, Ms. Wen Chyi Chiu. Your next honoree is being escorted by Emmett Boyd. Mr. Boyd is a 2017 Arizona MLK Living the Dream honoree and chair of the MLK Junior Basketball Classic. Please welcome your 2023 Arizona MLK Living the Dream honoree, Ms. Sharise L. Erby. Your next honoree is being escorted by Clara Briggs. Ms. Briggs is the Arizona MLK Candlelight Concert Chair. Please welcome your 2023 Arizona MLK Living the Dream honoree, Cordero Holmes. Your next honoree is being escorted by Nadia Kaligi. Nadia is a 2022 Arizona MLK Living the Dream honoree and chair of the MLK Scholarship Committee. Please welcome your 2023 Arizona MLK The Dream Award honoree, Dr. Will Moreland. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Marquis Scott, our Arizona MLK March Festival is escorting she's escorting the 2023 Arizona MLK Calvin C. Goode Lifetime Achievement Award honoree, Elizabeth Paulus. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause to all of our 2023 Arizona MLK Award honorees. Thanks to the honorees and the escorts. As our honorees go ahead and prepare to take their seats, the drum line today, under the direction of Jennifer Howard and Spencer, Director of Bands, and the support of Dobson High School Principal Gabby Buckley. Let's give a big round of applause for the Dobson High School drum line. Next, we have our opening prayers. Please join me as we welcome to the stage our faith leaders. We will begin with Rabbi Dr. Yanklowitz. Each participant will fully introduce themselves. Please welcome Rabbi Yanklowitz.
Good morning, great blessing to be with you all. Shmuley Yanklowitz from Arizona Jews for Justice. It says in the Torah, in the book of Genesis, that Abraham was chosen not only to be the first Jew, but the spiritual father of monotheism. Why was he chosen as the father of monotheism? Because of his commitment to justice. It says in Hebrew, Lasot tzedakah umishpat. How amazing that the origins of monotheism and Western religion emerge from a commitment to justice and raising families with these values. In my family, we named our firstborn son in Hebrew, Meir Lev Cook, so that his initials would be MLK. Not so common for a Jewish home to name their kid MLK, but Jewish communities and black communities have a long history of working together, and we want to keep that dream alive. Not only the dream of MLK, but it's the dream of Sojourner Truth, and the dream of Booker T. Washington, and the dream of Frederick Douglass, and the dream of Ida B. Wells, and the dream of Thurgood Marshall, and so poetically described by Maya Angelou and Toni Morrison, the dream of Rosa Parks and of John Lewis and of so many humble heroes in this room and so many who can't even be named. It's their dreams and it's our dreams that we must keep alive. It's not just a dream that hate will end, that racism will disappear, that injustices will be destroyed. It's a positive dream beyond that. As Dr. King said, we must concentrate not merely on the negative expulsion of war, but on the positive affirmation of peace. It's not primarily a political revolution, but a spiritual revolution. Dr. King wrote in his letter from Birmingham jail, segregation, to use the terminology of the Jewish philosopher Martin Buber, substitutes an I-it relationship for an I-thou relationship and ends up relegating persons to the status of things. Hence, segregation is not only politically, economically, and sociologically unsound, it is morally wrong and sinful. But it's not just that every person will be valued by others, but that every person will value themselves. Dr. King said, if a man is called to be a street sweeper, he should sweep streets even as Michelangelo painted, or Beethoven composed music, or Shakespeare wrote poetry. He should sweep streets so well that all the hosts of heaven and earth will pause to say, here lived a great street sweeper who did his job well. In white supremacy, we are only worth what we produce for the system. But in a religious ethos, we are created in the image of God, and we all have infinite dignity and infinite worth. And all of us here this morning are here because we know the work is far from done. Since large segments of this country have not yet owned up to the truths of slavery, the truths of segregation, the truths of economic injustice, the truths of the new Jim Crow, with the criminal injustices of our mass incarceration system, Dr. King said, with patient and firm determination, we will press on until every valley of despair is exalted to new peaks of hope. God, give us the strength to persevere. God, give us the wisdom to know how to hold on to our ideals fiercely, and yet how to make pragmatic wins, incremental victories. God, give us the humility to not just yell at hate, but to talk, when safe, with those who still hold hate in their hearts, to help them to soften their hearts, as Moses did to Pharaoh. God, bless us not to fall into cynicism or despair, that the dream is lost and the promises are eternally broken, but that we may live with hope and spiritual resiliency to keep trekking on. Dr. King said our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. God, may we, in his memory, continue to speak up with wisdom for compassion and for justice. And let us say, amen.
Next, we have Reverend Gerald P. Richard II.
First, giving praise and glory and honor to God, I bring you greetings in the name of my Lord and Savior, Jesus the Christ. It's good to see the current leaders of the government here, as well as the past leaders who have come back in order to make sure that we continue to do the work that lies before us. I want to pay a special tribute to my brothers and sisters in blue, the Phoenix Police Department, for the work that you do every day, placing your lives on the line. For having served 21 years with you, the Phoenix Police Department is one of the best law enforcement agencies in the world. I also give thanks to our firefighters, for without them, there would be so many lives lost. And they too put their lives on the line in order to make sure that our city is safe. Thank you. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we are ever so grateful for allowing us to be here this morning to celebrate the work and lives of the servant leaders who we are recognizing today. I thank God for everyone who contributed to making this successful event possible, and for those who came before us, who had the vision, determination, and unyielding energy to bring us to this point in time. I thank God for those in our history, not only Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., for whom this event is named, but for all those who came before him and after him, for their endless contributions, sacrifices, prayers, and fortitude to overcome the challenges, evils, and degradation, so that we could be here today, eating together, praying together, networking, and staying committed to working for a better future for ourselves and generations to come. Heavenly Father, I humbly ask that you hear me this morning. Hear me as I ask that you heal this land. Continue to bless this city and its officials. Bless its citizens and especially its children. And bless the teachers of fact, that they teach all of the history, and let us not repeat that which has hurt us in the past. Bless, Almighty Father, each and every one of us. Let your disciples be unafraid to stand up in the face of adversity and to stand with those who earnestly want to stop the politics and keep it simple. Do unto others as you would want them to do unto you. Like today, Lord, we ask that you continue to bless those disciples with humility and strength and never forsake them, as you have done with each and every person who will receive an award today, as well as those who have stood on this stage in the past as recipients. Heavenly Father, we allow those who are sitting here today who have yet to be recognized for the work that they do in the private, nonprofit, and public sector to make a difference in this world. Reflect on the words of Dr. Benjamin Mays, former president of Morehouse University, who would tell each and every freshman class, which included Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., do whatever you do so well that no one living and no one yet unborn could do it better. Lastly, Heavenly Father, I ask that everyone allow for a moment of silence and reflection on the lives of two great community leaders who have transitioned to glory, Clay Dix and Mel Hanna. May they forever be remembered as legends in our community. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Richard. Next, we welcome Nadia Khalid, representing the Baha'i Faith.
Hello, everybody. Good morning. As Dr. King has said, I have decided to stick with love. Hate is too great of a burden. In the Baha'i writings, Abdu'l-Baha says, "We are all flowers of one garden, waves of one sea. We are all one. Our differences are what make us amazing individually and bring us together." I'd like to offer a prayer. Oh my God, unite the hearts of thy servants and reveal to them thy great purpose. May they follow thy commandments and abide in thy law. Help them, O God, in their endeavor and grant them strength to serve thee. O God, leave them not to themselves, but guide their steps by the light of thy knowledge, and cheer their hearts by thy love. Verily, thou art their helper and their Lord. Baha'u'llah. I say these prayers in the names of all who are suffering today on this earth, for the Baha'is that are suffering in Iran, and the women, life, for the women of Iran that are fighting for freedom as well. Thank you.
Let's give another big round of applause for our prayer participants. Thank you. Now, please stand for the presentation of our colors by the Phoenix Police and Fire Department Honor Guard, followed by the performing of the national anthem by Ms. Dana Burns, and remain standing for Lift Every Voice and Sing, our Honor Guard.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave, brave, the brave. Woo.
Please remain standing. Thank you, Dana Burns, and thank you to the Phoenix Police and Fire Department Honor Guard. Please remain standing for the Black National Anthem. Lift every voice and sing. Please be seated. We are proud to welcome Amazon as our legacy title sponsor this year. I've had the great honor to get to know their Senior Manager of Community Engagement, Mr. John Pombier, and see firsthand the great work they are embarking on in Arizona. Amazon is an American multinational technology company focusing on e-commerce, cloud computing technology, online advertising, digital streaming, and artificial intelligence. It has been referred to as one of the most influential economic and cultural forces in the world, and is one of the world's most valuable brands. Initially on an online marketplace for books, it expanded into a multitude of products and categories, a strategy that earned it the moniker, the Everything Store, and we all know it as the Everything Store. Amazon has earned a reputation as a disruptor of well-established industries through technology innovation and aggressive reinvestment of profits into capital expenditures. The reason why I mention Amazon as a disruptor is because that's what our honorees represent today. They are disruptors. Collectively, they have disrupted underrepresented students not being able to reach their academic goals to achieve college success. They have disrupted not allowing young generations to gain global perspectives of the world. They have disrupted some of the challenges of providing underserved women with education, training, relevant skills, and relationships to ensure they are equipped to participate fully in the economy. They have absolutely disrupted the notion that you can't make a difference by visiting juvenile detention facilities to speak and inspire young people and assist the unhoused population with food and clothes. And they have disrupted the belief that you can excel and succeed in life and in business. So we look forward to celebrating these disruptors today. With Amazon as our title sponsor, I want to officially welcome you to the Amazon 37th Annual Arizona MLK Awards and Scholarship Breakfast presented by PetSmart and Verizon. As our presenting sponsors, I will share with you that while some companies did not come forward to support our efforts during the midst of the worst pandemic in American history, PetSmart and Verizon stepped up even bigger as we made the tough decision that we weren't going to stop celebrating the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King. And we march forward with 2 years of virtual celebrations that we broadcast nationwide, of which some folks across the country told us that they were the best MLK celebrations, virtual celebrations they witnessed. And although not being broadcast live today, this program is being recorded to be broadcast later on Phoenix Channel 11. A big thanks to the City of Phoenix and Channel 11 for being here with us today. So again, big thanks to Amazon, Senior Manager of Community Engagement, Mr. John Pombier. Thank you, sir, and the entire Amazon team for their title sponsorship. Now, we are so honored to have the 24th governor of the great state of Arizona join us today. Governor Hobbs grew up in Tempe in a hard-working middle-class family that knows the value of a dollar and the dignity of hard work. She learned the value of service from her parents and from her faith. Starting as a kid who volunteered at church, she spent her entire life serving and has never stopped. She put herself through college at Northern Arizona University and graduate school at Arizona State University with a combination of work study and scholarships, and then immediately started as a social worker helping everyday Arizonans. Her first job out of college was working with homeless youth in Phoenix, and then she helped run one of the largest domestic abuse shelters in the country. There, Governor Hobbs provided critical resources to thousands of women suffering from domestic violence, and she saw the devastating effects that poverty and lack of access to reproductive health can create. In the legislature, she worked with both parties to expand health care to over 500,000 Arizonans. She worked across the aisle to find new ways to tackle the growing opioid epidemic here in Arizona. Governor Hobbs was elected Secretary of State in 2018 and is really no stranger to the activities of the Arizona MLK Committee's activities and events, and has been a strong supporter. That support continues today. As governor, please join me in welcoming our governor, the Honorable Katie Hobbs.
Good morning, everyone. I am so grateful and honored to be here with you today. Thank you so much, Dr. Jean Blue, Chair of the Arizona MLK Celebration Committee, and the event organizers. I also want to thank Amazon for being the title sponsor of this morning's event. And congratulations to today's honorees. Being here today, I'm thinking about new beginnings. We are at the start of a new administration in Arizona, one that holds not only promise and hope, but an obligation to listen, find common ground, and craft real solutions to the issues we're facing. I also want to take a moment to remember a man that we recently lost, one who was deeply important to many of us here in this room, and I'm no exception to that. Mel Hanna served as the chair of the Secretary of State's Community Advisory Council, and as you all know, was a member of the Arizona Commission of African American Affairs. I know his loss is felt deeply in this room, and I want to acknowledge his years of service to our state. Being here today, I would also like to reflect on another man whose legacy we know well, Calvin C. Goode. He was the epitome of the servant leader and someone I take a lot of inspiration from, especially today. I recall a story about a woman named Carol Henry who met Mr. Goode when she was just 25 years old. When asked about Mr. Goode, Carol said, "One of the first things he told me when I first met him, he said, 'There's rights and privileges that people have in society, and those need to be extended to everybody.'" Those words are a core philosophy of my administration. Arizona needs to be a place where the power of prosperity is extended to all of us. We have such a brief amount of time in this world. Let us use that time in the best way possible. leaving this world better than we found it. Thank you so much for having me this morning, and congratulations again to this morning's honorees.
Thank you, Governor Hobbs. Next, to provide welcoming remarks, is the mayor of the 5th largest city in the United States, Phoenix, Mayor Kate Gallego. She's also the 2nd elected female in Phoenix history and the youngest big city mayor in our nation. Please welcome my friend, Mayor Kate Gallego.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you all for being with us here today. It is so fabulous to have Ron as our MC. He's our Renaissance man. If you need him to help give you advice on your small business, he can do that. One year, the person who was supposed to sing the national anthem did not attend this event, so he just did it. Which, in case you want to know, that is like my idea of a very difficult situation, to just spontaneously be asked to sing the national anthem, but he can do it all. I want to thank you all for being here. It's wonderful to be with Governor Hobbs, Congressman Gallego, many members of city councils, including my own, but all that we have Jen Duff from Mesa with us and so many other distinguished leaders here today. We would not be here without Dr. Jean Blue, who has championed this event and made sure that we recognize the people who live out Dr. King's legacy. Ron has a great co-chair with the awards breakfast, Valerie Churchwell, with whom I get to work. So thank you to Ron and Valerie for creating a very special event for all of us. We are 37 years of delivering this event in partnership with Arizona Opportunity and Industrialization Center. Arizona is so much stronger because of the work that you all do. Want to thank our sponsors, particularly Amazon, who has stepped up to serve as our title sponsor, and we appreciate your partnership. It's also special to be in person, but I want to thank the committee for continuing the celebration in a way that respected public health and made sure we all stayed safe while recognizing heroes of this community. It's very special also to have Governor Hobbs today. It is budget day, and she is delivering a budget that puts our students first, which is phenomenal. We at the city are also particularly excited about $150 million for the Housing Trust Fund, so we're going to be able to work together on so many important issues. And it is an exciting time for the city of Phoenix. We have emerged from the pandemic as one of the strongest cities in the U.S. and one of the fastest growing. Some major milestones since we last convened. By unanimous vote of the Phoenix City Council, Juneteenth is now a paid holiday for City of Phoenix employees. We have also celebrated the largest foreign direct investment in our history, $40 billion in advanced chip manufacturing with Taiwan Semiconductor. So the brains of the iPhone will be made in Phoenix, Arizona, and one of our honorees today was a big part of that, along with so many others, making sure that high-wage jobs of the future happen right here. We continue to invest in public safety, and if you know of anyone in the social work field, we are hiring social workers to respond to 911 calls, help us fight against homelessness, and so much more. So, and if you know of any young person who's looking for a career path, we have one at the City of Phoenix, but now we also have a governor who is a social worker. So it just goes to show that is a great place to start whatever your dreams may be. We're proud of the work we're doing at the City of Phoenix while recognizing we still have a lot of work to do to create a city that works for everyone. Today, we get to honor the people who continue Dr. King's legacy in making us a stronger community. I want to thank this amazing group of people who do so much for our young people, for making us a more tolerant and just community, and standing up for those who do not always have an advocate. Thank you to Elizabeth Paulus, Wen Chyi Chiu, Sharise Erby, Cordero Holmes, Dr. Will Moreland, for embodying Dr. King's message of freedom, equality, justice, and love, and delivering those tenets through your work. I also want to recognize those who are working today, our great team at the Phoenix Convention Center, those who feed us, who clean up when we are done, those who keep us safe while we are here. So round of applause for the people who made today happen. We look forward to working together in the next year to create the type of community that Dr. King dreamed we would have, and we look forward to working with all of you to make it happen. Thank you for being here, and enjoy the program.
Thank you, Mayor Kate Gallego, and all the City Council members here present today. Next, I get the great pleasure to introduce our Phoenix City Manager. Mr. Jeff Barton was named City Manager in October 2021 after serving as Assistant City Manager since February 2021. Prior to that, he served as Deputy City Manager since March 2020 and served as Director of the city's Budget and Research Department since July 2015. He has a proven track record at the city as a leader who understands the city's finances and operations and the important balance between the city and community and innovative solutions. Barton's 21-year career with the City of Phoenix started in 1999 as an intern auditor in the City Auditor Department. In the years that followed, he held a variety of roles that focused on the city's sound financial stewardship, including multiple auditing positions, management assistant, and deputy budget and research director. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Jeff Barton.
Good morning, everyone. Excuse the voice, I'm fighting a really bad sinus infection. I first and foremost want to acknowledge the ancestors who were indigenous to this site that we're currently on, the Odom and the Peepash people of Arizona. And I think that's important for us to do because they came before us, and because of them, we're able to occupy this space and this land. So just give it up for them, please. I, too, want to acknowledge Mr. Blue. He was one of the first people I met when I first moved to Arizona, and you have been a stalwart in this event, and this event is such a big deal for the Phoenix community, and I want to thank you for your efforts. I also want to thank and acknowledge the Goode family and Mr. Calvin Goode. He was actually one of the first people I met when I moved here, too, because my father-in-law, Professor Gershom Williams, used to actually do things with him in the community, specifically at the Carver Museum. And so I actually am in the position that I am because there were trailblazers like Mr. Goode and other folks in the city that allowed me to kind of matriculate through the organization. And I think that is something that I'll never forget. And I remember him and his wife, Miss Georgie, and it's very special. And some of his sons are actually fraternity brothers of mine, so that's also a really, really special thing. So this day to me means a lot. And I'm talking off the cuff. I don't really write things down, so a lot of people know that too with me. Martin Luther King is extremely special to me. One, I am a Morehouse College graduate. I am also an alpha. Martin Luther King was an alpha, so we are double brothers. And so that is a very special thing to me. I was the first male in my family to go to college, and I only applied to one college, and it was Morehouse College. I did that because my grandmother wanted me to go to Morehouse. She loved Martin Luther King. My grandmother had a 3rd grade education. My grandfather that raised me had a 6th grade education, and he was practically totally illiterate. But they got me to Morehouse College, got me to grad school, and I'm currently the city manager. So that is the legacy of Martin Luther King. I think the other thing that we can say and acknowledge being on this stage today, you have Miss Katie Hobbs, a female governor. You've got Mayor Kate Gallego, the female mayor of the 5th largest city, and you've got me, a little black kid that grew up in the projects in Pennsylvania that has ascended to this role. And so that is the dream of Dr. Martin Luther King. So as he sat in that cell in Birmingham, and those words that it's always right, the time to do right is always right. That's what we need to remember. As public servants and as people that are committed to the community, it is always the right thing, no matter the pain that you go through. He sacrificed his family. He sacrificed his life because it was the right thing to do. And I think we all need to remember that. You can always give more. You know, there's a famous poem that we as alphas have etched in our mind, Invictus, right? Under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloody but unbowed. And I am the master of my fate, and I am the captain of my soul. That is Dr. Martin Luther King. And that is why we are all in this room here today. So I just want to say thank you for all being here. On behalf of my city staff, all 15,000 employees, thank you for coming to Phoenix, and enjoy yourself today.
Thank you, Mr. Barton. I've asked Jeff to remain on stage with us. We got some quick acknowledgments to make. Also, if I can have Congressman Gallego join us up on stage for a quick acknowledgement. Arizona OIC President and CEO, Dr. Jean Blue, if you can join us on stage for a quick acknowledgement. The City of Phoenix Equal Opportunity Department Director, Don Logan, if you can join us on stage. And Arizona OIC Deputy Director, Janet Shines. Are you here, Janet? Where are you at? Where's Janet? They're going to grab her. All right. As they come to the stage, thank you all, the Arizona OIC wants to acknowledge that there comes a time when organizations just need to pause and look at the efforts of individuals that help to swing the pendulum towards good. And that affects people and communities for years to come. They may not always receive big awards and accolades, but their work and the legacy they leave stands on its own merit. The Arizona OIC calls them unsung heroes. At this time, there are two individuals that have been identified that have done just that. Thank you, Don Logan and Dr. Jean Blue and everyone involved for their input on these two acknowledgments. Come on up on the stage, Janet. We need your help. And everyone involved, Mr. Logan, will you do the honors of presenting one of the Arizona OIC Unsung Community Champion Awards to one of our acknowledgments? Thank you, Don.
Good morning. Unsung hero, one who does great deeds but receives little or no recognition for them. Today, I have the honor to introduce Mr. Ed Zerker, who served as Phoenix City Manager from 2013 to 2021. As City Manager, Ed, along with the support of our Mayor and City Council, changed the landscape of city government and his promotion of women and employees of color to key executive leadership positions. In Dr. King's famous I Have a Dream speech, he stated, "One day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed, where we all are created equal." Today, we acknowledge Mr. Zerker for his efforts in support of Dr. King's vision. Please join me in welcoming former City Manager Ed Zerker to the stage for this well-deserved recognition. Ed?
He had no idea this was happening, ladies and gentlemen.
This is a tremendous honor and a real surprise, and I'm just feeling a lot of emotions here. seeing my former city employee friends and colleagues and listening to Jeff Barton give from his heart. You got to see what I saw 15, 20 years ago, and I recognize in him that's something that was leadership, and it's so gratifying to see that, to see all the Phoenix employees who I've worked with as they've grown and developed, reached places of importance and leadership. And just a reminder to all city employees to remember every day why you got into the job. The purpose you have in serving the people of Phoenix, there's no greater purpose, there's no greater honor to us in our working lives to do that, carry that forward. Thank you for what you do. Thank you, Mayor Gallego, Phoenix City Council, for your trust in me. You can tell that they've placed their trust in a great person to continue to lead the city employees, and thank you again so much. It's an honor.
Congratulations, Ed. Congratulations on all of your years and your efforts to change the pendulum toward good. We appreciate you. All right. Next, we have one more award to give. She has no clue. She is an unsung hero. We felt that it was appropriate at this time, at this moment, to recognize her. And presenting her the Unsung Hero Award is Congressman Gallego. Her name is Janet Shines.
It's my pleasure to give this to you on behalf of our congressional district and the state of Arizona, as well as Phoenix. Thank you so much for everything you do.
And thank you. Thank you.
Did you want to say anything?
No, thank you so much.
Thank you all. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Congressman Gallego. I'm going to keep Dr. Blue up on the stage. He was not scheduled to speak. He did not want to speak. He had been feeling good the last couple of days, but I just feel that we will be remiss if we didn't hear from our icon, Dr. Gene Blue. Can you welcome him? Come on, Doctor.
Good morning. Now, all of these, 37 years is a tremendous, that's more than 3 decades, and I've worked with you and for our community. And really, I think that the awardees and especially our unsung heroes deserve a much better good morning than that little good morning. So I'd like for you to just take the roof off the sucker. Good morning to you. Good morning. Thank you. There it is. There it is. That's the song, by the way, take the roof off the sucker. But certainly to our governor, our mayor, congressman, my buddy, and to Ed Zucker, who I worked with a lot of years, I thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to work with you and recognize one of God's best, Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. I had the pleasure of certainly meeting both our governor and our mayor and shaking their hands. And when I took their hands to say hello, I shook hands and it was touching the hands, but their action before and since then have touched my heart. And I consider them certainly 2 of the best, not just best women, not just best individuals who serve our community, but 2 of my friends and your friends. Thank you very much, Governor Hobbs and Mayor Gallego. We're proud to have you. I'm proud to work with you. My buddies, certainly Congressman and Ed, we go back 100 years. Sometimes I know they probably felt like it seemed like 100 years they were going to be messing with me, but anyway. I am just honored to serve this community and to recognize all of you. You are the ones that made Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. You are the ones who went to the polls and said emphatically, yes, we'll have a King Day. God bless you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Blue. I made him speak. He was not going to speak. But thank you. It's a blessing to see him up and moving and walking this morning. Please pray for him as he deals with some of the challenges he's dealing with, but he's still our leader, still strong and going strong with us. Thanks again. Let's give a big round of applause for Dr. Blue. Now I'm going to bring him back to the stage. We have a greeting from Arizona Congressional District 3. Please welcome Congressman Ruben Gallego. Let's welcome him. Come on.
I apologize. I wasn't expecting to speak. No, just kidding. I'm a politician. I always have a speech ready. Thank you, Ron. See, you're the first one on here. First of all, I just want to say thank you to all my friends and lifelong friends that are in this room. Dr. Jean Blue, who really is a great person to meet when you're first getting started in civic life here, because he will quickly tell you the truth, nothing but the truth, and only the truth, even when you don't want to hear it. Ron Williams and Valerie Churchwell, who have always been great community leaders and great friends of mine. And of course, congratulations to the Calvin C. Goode Lifetime Achievement Award honoree, Elizabeth Paulus. And of course, our other congratulations go to the Living the Dream Award, Wen Chyi Chiu, Sharise L, Cordero Holmes, and Dr. Will Moreland. And of course, we can't also skip this without remembering the Honorable Mel Hanna. Mel was also a good mentor to many of us young politicians. And whenever I spoke to him and he said the word young blood, I knew it was time to stop whatever I was doing and listen, because there was a very good lesson about to come, and it was a shock to a lot of us for his passing, and we as a community really mourn that. But I am happy here to see so many smiling faces on what is a great celebration day. I join you from Washington, D.C., where we selected 15 times in a row for Speaker. The first African-American, by the way, to win that 15 times in a row. And many of you here were actually with me when we actually brought our now minority leader, one day to be Speaker of the House, the first African-American Speaker of the House, Hakeem Jeffries, to Phoenix. But we are proud as a caucus to have him representing us and fighting for us because of his talents and because of what he represents to this country. While we're very proud of that, we are still, of course, in the fight. We are really dealing with some of the most radical elements that we have seen in quite a while. Though the election the election told the crowd and told the politicians that they wanted moderation, what we're getting right now is not that. We have had already calls for more systematic rollbacks of voting rights laws, more cuts to things such as SNAP and educational benefits. Instead of dealing with homelessness, they want to punish the unhoused, and it is going to continue to go on. But we, and that means Democrats, Republicans, and independents all together, are dedicated to bringing good civic government to Washington, D.C., and I hope that many of them will continue to actually follow in the path of the great Martin Luther King. Now, we all say that, and it certainly has been a very hard political year for the last 2 years. But if we follow his path, if we actually do it and not just say it, I think you will have a government that you will be proud of. And I am dedicated to doing that for you, for the citizens of Phoenix, and for every person here in the great state of Arizona. Thank you again, and congratulations to everybody here for their great work and their awards. And, you know, this is just a speech I got right off the cuff. Thank you very much.
My friend. Thank you, Congressman Gallego. Now we'd like to welcome our co-chair. She did not want to speak either. I said, Valerie, you gotta speak. Our co-chair of today's awards breakfast, Valerie Churchwell. Valerie is a decorated community leader and is the recipient of the 2017 Arizona MLK Calvin C. Goode Lifetime Achievement Award. Please welcome Valerie Churchwell.
I really wish you all could see what I see. I've been standing back here, and it is just truly amazing to see everyone back in person after these years of taking such a break. I've been with the committee for 18 years, and I've had the opportunity to serve as the co-chair for the last 2 years. But I've had, for the past 17 years, I've led the torch run. And so the young people that came in this morning are near and dear to my heart. We've been together on cold mornings and almost rainy mornings, and they've been here with me. But when we started, we had elementary schoolers, and the thought behind that was these young people would be the ones that were going to pass the torch to us. So with that said, I would love for the torch runners to stand up again, and I want to highlight a 7-year-old, Mariano, that ran with us this morning, right in the front with his father, Black Men Run. So my torch runners, would you please stand up, and Mariano, would you give us a wave? Because this is why we do what we do, and hopefully you runners, you get to meet the men and women that are here today, and hopefully they will inspire you. You already are great, but they will inspire you to even be greater, just like them. So with that said, I'd like to take a moment to recognize our committee co-chairs, and it's a long list, so if you don't mind hanging on to your applause, because we have some amazing men and women that have worked and given their time to make this event happen. So starting with the MLK Candlelight Ceremony concert, Pastor Erby Barnwell and co-chair is Dr. Will Counts. I saw him earlier, and Clara Briggs. MLK Community Days of Service, Chair Monica Tipton. MLK March, Marquis Scott and co-chair Antoine Skinner. MLK Festival, I know I saw Lynette outside earlier, and co-chair Emmett Boyd. Youth Celebration Chair, Dr. Camilla Westenberg and co-chair Tyree Davis. MLK Basketball Classic, again, Emmett Boyd, he's doing double duty for us as he has in many, many years. MLK Marketing and Media, Chair Virginia Fargo, she was our voice this morning. I'm not seeing her back there, but give us a wave. MLK Sponsorship, Chair Nadia Kalingi and co-chair Jesse Erby, who's unable to join us today for a loss in his family, so please keep him in your prayers. And the MLK Henry Barnwell Scholarship Fund, Dr. Will Counts again. So thank you for everyone who does their work. And then if you are actually a member of the MLK committee, and believe me, these lights are tough up here, so I can't really see. But if you're a member of the committee, would you too stand, because you are deserving of a round of applause. So if you're a member of the committee, please stand. Thank you all. It's a pleasure to serve with you. Each year, the City of Phoenix Human Relations Commission's Award Selection Committee selects one individual for the Calvin Goode Lifetime Achievement Award and 4 individuals for the Living the Dream Award. You saw the recipients earlier, but you'll hear more about them to come. The Lifetime Achievement Award, named after 22-year Phoenix City Councilman Calvin C. Goode, recognizes an individual who has made Phoenix a better place to live by promoting social and economic justice and civil rights. The Living the Dream Award honors individuals who embody the ideas of Dr. King through a personal commitment to human relations and justice. At this time, I would like to ask all past Living the Dream awardees, and I know we have quite a few in the room. If you would please stand. All right, I see you guys. And then if you're a Calvin Goode Lifetime Achievement Award recipient, would you please stand as well? I see a few over in the corner that have joined the class. So again, we mentioned the Human Relations Commission. So under the leadership of Chair Nate Roden, will the members of the Human Relations Commission that are in attendance please stand? Nope. Again, light and bright. Ah. And we've talked a lot about the OIC staff, and again, with Dr. Blue up here earlier, this would not have happened without him. So with that, we'd like to recognize their staff. We saw Dr. Blue earlier. Janet Shines was up here being totally surprised. They really did get her. She had no clue, and I've been in meetings with them. She had no idea that was going to happen. Rick Fry, the wonderful voice that answers the phone and looks out for us. Dr. Karen Harden, Steve Cahal, Linda Epperson Thompson, and Dalen Blue McLaurin. If you're in the room, please stand, and if not, please give them a round. I think some of them are still out in the lobby handling everyone that's coming in today. And of course, if you heard earlier, this would not have happened without our amazing sponsors. One is very new, which we just mentioned today, and some are returning. So with that said, we'd like to again thank our title sponsor, Amazon, our returning presenting sponsors, Verizon and PetSmart. Other top sponsors include the Arizona Republic, the City of Phoenix, Salt River Project, Arizona Facts of Life, Arizona Public Service, the Arizona Community Foundation, I saw Kim Covington earlier, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Sun Charities, True Leave Harvest Enterprises, I think I heard a woo for somebody over there, Sun's Charities maybe, True Leave Harvest Enterprises, USAA, Wells Fargo, the Arizona Informant, Phoenix Sky Harbor, where are my aviation peoples? They're over there. After 9 years of being with them, they're still in my heart. And thank you for being here. The Arizona Cardinals and Kurt and Lachelle Mangum. So thank you to all of our sponsors. If you give them a round of applause. And again, with that, thank you for joining us today. It's truly, again, an honor for me to be here. And Ron's coming back up, so it's time to turn it back over to him. Thank you.
Thank you, Valerie. She loves me now. Thank you so much, Valerie. The Arizona OIC has partnered with the Arizona Community Foundation to administer the MLK Henry Barnwell Scholarship Program. Kim Covington and the team at the Arizona Community Foundation have been absolutely outstanding. As we enjoy some video footage from some of the scholarship winners, please turn your attention toward the screen.
Receiving this scholarship will help mitigate the financial burden associated with pursuing post-secondary education and help me accomplish my academic goals.
For me, this scholarship will provide financial assistance so that I can concentrate on my studies without being concerned about finances. My parents will not be burdened by my school expenses thanks to this grant.
This fall, I will be studying Family Studies and Human Development at the University of Arizona. I intend on furthering my knowledge of family dynamics, personal growth, and mental well-being to better advocate for those in my community.
My name is HJ. I want to say thank you to the ASU Foundation donors for supporting me in my academic endeavors. Thank you so much.
This scholarship means so much to me because it allows me to further pursue my educational goals at Arizona State University and ultimately become a lawyer. I also think that it will push me to change the world as well.
This support gives me the funds that I need to successfully focus and dedicate myself to higher education.
I'm beginning to embark on my journey to be a freshman at ASU this fall. I have a major in biology and a minor in economics.
I am a graduating senior at Dillard University and business administration major. I know that this scholarship will further fuel me in my journey to success.
Amy, thank you so much for supporting my dream to pursue a higher education.
Receiving this scholarship is helping me accomplish my future career goals by allowing me more time to focus inside the classroom, opposed to worrying about funding.
I aspire to be a physician, more specifically a pediatric surgeon, so attaining this scholarship means so much, and it's super important to me and my family, so really thank you.
And I heard we may have a scholarship winner here, Kim. Do we have a scholarship winner in the room with us? She's in here somewhere. All right. Well, we certainly want to make sure that we support our youth, and the Arizona Community Foundation has been a great partner in that effort. As we prepare for the presentation of the Arizona MLK Living the Dream Awards, I'd like to invite our returning presenters, presenting sponsors, Verizon, to the podium. Representing Verizon, please welcome Matthew Clark. Representing, he is the Manager of State and Local Affairs. We also have two co-presenters with us for the Living the Dream Awards, and that's Salt River Project and Arizona Facts of Life. Representing Salt River Project is SRP's Manager of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, my friend Mr. SNO2. Come on up. And representing Arizona Facts of Life is Mr. Christopher Gray. Let's welcome them to the stage. And first, we will have a quick word from our co-presenter from Salt River Project, Mr. O2. A quick word from Mr. O2.
Well, good morning. Good morning. I'm honored to be here with you today to celebrate the life of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and his vision for a more fair, equitable, and inclusive America. As we prepare and pause to reflect on the progress that we've made, we also acknowledge the work that's left to do, right? And today's a day for us to really think about how we renew our individual and collective commitment to the important causes of justice and equity. At SRP, we're using and harnessing the power of diversity and inclusion and belonging to build a more equitable and sustainable future for our customers, our communities, and our employees. And that commitment's really reflected in our dedication to fulfilling our mission to deliver affordable, reliable, and sustainable power and water each and every day. We consider it a privilege to serve as the returning sponsors for the MLK Day Scholarship Breakfast in partnership with the OIC and City of Phoenix. For more than 120 years, SRP has worked to make Arizona a better place to live and work through strategic, focused, and impactful partnerships that improve the quality of life of our customers and communities by providing crucial funding to vital community and educational programs. It's as much a part of our mission as delivering power and water. And we're proud to stand beside you and others who are committed to building communities that celebrate diverse perspectives and promote civic engagement. I want to thank the MLK Celebration Committee for your hard work and diligence as the driving force to ensure that Dr. King's legacy is honored each and every year. And your work is definitely a reflection of Dr. King's message of compassion, understanding, and engagement. Finally, I want to take a moment to thank and congratulate those being honored today with the MLK Living the Dream Award and the Lifetime Achievement Award. Thank you so much for all that you do.
Thank you, Mr. O2. Now, a quick word from our co-presenter, Arizona Facts of Life, Mr. Gray.
Good morning, good morning. As I stand here today, I just wanted to acknowledge the greatness that is our community. We have built a legacy without knowing that has transcended the ideas of MLK Jr. His I Have a Dream speech was manifestation of our success and continued growth in our nation. We are learning more each day how to build support, build confidence, and maintain our pride as a community leader. AZFOL is dedicated to that by being a community leader in service Through our work in life skill development, community outreach, various programming, the supports of our community needs, we happily give MLK the honor of being a major part of our organization. Today, we celebrate all he stands for, what each of us here have done in his honor, and being servants to all in need. Thank you.
And now we get to hear from one of our returning presenting sponsors. When I say they've been there for us, I mean they've been there for us. So please, representing Verizon, please welcome Matthew Clark, Manager of State and Local Government Affairs. Thank you, Matthew.
Well, thank you so much. My remarks will be brief. I was told, one, that we are on time, which is like finding a unicorn when you wake up on Christmas morning. And then second, I believe I am literally the last speaker before we get to our nominees. So I will not waste everyone's time with a long, drawn-out speech. Again, I just want to thank everyone for the opportunity to speak today. As was mentioned, this is the third year that Verizon has sponsored since I've been there. And when I started this, or when we started sponsoring it, it was prior to COVID, and I was really excited about getting down because I'd heard the breakfasts were legendary. And then COVID hit, and we went 2 years where, it just didn't happen. So I'm glad that we're back in person and that I finally got to have a breakfast. It was delicious. I ate all the sweet rolls because after the holidays, I decided I don't want to live my diet anymore. So speaking of COVID, I think the last few years have shown how important connectivity is for everyone, and that is why Verizon is focused on bringing digital equity and inclusion to everyone throughout the state of Arizona, if not the country as a whole. Thank you. Thank you. Over the past few years, Verizon has increased our investment in Arizona through our commitment to the Affordable Connectivity Program. In addition to the inclusion of over a half dozen new Verizon Innovative Learning Schools, where we take Title I schools and we bring in both devices and connectivity over a 2-year program and really introduce STEM and new educational opportunities to kids that have probably never seen it, nor would have the opportunity until they got to college. So this is really an introductory program. And we don't just roll up to the schools and dump the programs in there. We really literally dig in and we teach the teachers how to train the kids how to use these kind of connectivities and stuff for at-home learning and additional opportunities as they go throughout their educational experience. And then finally, I would be remiss if I didn't mention our partnership with ASU and the 5G Innovation Lab that we have there. And really, that is a training program of how we re-envision education for everyone through a full VR connectivity experience where you can really literally live what you're learning in the classroom and then go back every day. And our hope is that I'm actually quite jealous that it's a strong likelihood that my kids will be able to experience it and my grandkids will be able to experience learning in a way that has never been done before. So we're really looking forward to continuing that partnership with ASU. On a personal note, being here today has allowed me to reflect on really what living the dream means. Oftentimes when people ask me how I'm doing, my kind of coined response is, I'm living the dream, which this Super Bowl year, as we're prepping for the Super Bowl, has meant many different things at many different times. And it's something that I say so often. My wife got me a T-shirt for Christmas, so it was actually one of my top 3 Christmas gifts, so you can take from that what you may, as to whether my kids are really good or if I've been a good boy or not, depending on Santa. But I think today's celebration shows us all how we are living the dream that Dr. King laid out in his historic remarks so many years ago. I am inspired by how all of our award nominees have shown us how to live the dream. So I want to talk about how I want to congratulate all of you here today. You have inspired me and many others throughout the state and the valley with your accomplishments. And again, I just want to reiterate how proud Verizon is here to sponsor it. We look forward to many more years of being here and of living the dream together. Thank you again.
Thank you, Matthew. And we are going to do our best to take full advantage of the governor being here. We haven't had a governor here since 2009. Back when I received my Living the Dream award, when I received my Living the Dream award, the governor was there and helped to co-present the award to me. And it's something that I will never forget, and it's something that my mother, who was here from Memphis, Tennessee, will never forget. So if we can welcome the governor back to the stage. She has graciously agreed to help with the presentation of awards. Let's give her another round of applause as we bring her back. And now, for our first Arizona MLK Living the Dream Awards, let's welcome Wen Chyi Chiu.
Dr. King has inspired me to be a better person, to never give up. It is because of Dr. King's inspirational words and actions that it has taught me and motivate others to choose love versus hate, justice versus injustice, hope versus despair, right versus wrong. The major influence in my life has been my mother. She has taught me community service and volunteerism to help others, especially those who are in need, and to help others and to help with our expertise. My mother has been a great role model and also community leader for educating a younger generations to become leaders of tomorrow. If Dr. King was here today, I want to personally thank him for all the sacrifices that he made so all the boys and girls can achieve their goals and dreams. It is because of Dr. King that the world is fighting against discrimination, hatred, and violence, so the world can be a better place for generations to generations. Thank you, Dr. King, for having a dream. It is because of you we all can have our dream. Thank you, Dr. King. Thank you to AZ MLK Celebration Committees and Phoenix Human Relations Commission for this great honor. Thank you to my mother, Ling Ling Lee, honoree of the 2013 MLK Living the Dream Award, for her inspiration, leadership, and to my family for your continuous support. I would like to special thanks to my second family, City of Phoenix, Phoenix Sister Cities, and Taipei Sister Cities. I wish everyone great health and happiness. Thank you again.
That's not good. Our next Arizona MLK Living the Dream honoree, let's welcome Sharise L. Erby.
Dr. King has a quote that says, and I'm paraphrasing, but if you cannot run, walk, and if you can't walk, crawl, just keep moving. And that quote reminds me, just keep going, just keep moving the needle. Don't stop, don't give up. Who's had an influence? But of course, I have to shout out my mother, Carrie J. Gray. She is my shero. She's the first person that I knew intimately who was so involved in the community. She was the president for many years of the Debonair's Charity and Art Club. I would ask a two-part question. First would be, what would he consider his greatest victory that we don't know? The second part to that question is, what would he consider to be his greatest failure? And based on that failure, what would he do different, if anything, and what did he learn from that failure? Because we evolve from our victories and our failures. Thank you, Dr. King, for being undeniable to your dream, for being undeniable to what you saw the cause to be, the work, the great work. Anytime you're working in the community, anytime you're working to make a change, you know, the enemy comes against you, opposition comes against you. And for you to be undeniable, you know, I'm here and I'm doing what I do because you came and you did what you did. Thank you, Dr. King.
To God be the glory, amen, for all the great things that he has done. I just want to say thank you to my nominators, to the selection committee. I'm still wrapping my head around this. I'm usually not short of words, but I will be obedient on today. I am grateful to the selection committee. I'm grateful to be here, but more so, I'm grateful of the mandate that God has placed on my life and to be able to serve the women of Arizona through the Phenomenal Woman Empowerment Network. And I'm gonna keep going, I'm gonna keep trudging, I'm gonna keep doing what I've been called to do. If I can't run, I will walk, and if I can't walk, I will crawl. But I am coming for every undeserved woman who wants to step into the pay gap, who wants to increase their viability in our economy, and that they want to live the dream. So thank you. I appreciate this award.
Congratulations, Sharise Erby. Our next Arizona MLK Living the Dream Award honoree, Mr. Cordero Holmes.
Dr. King has inspired me in my volunteer work. Dr. King said that there's 3 things that you need to have in your blueprint. The first thing was believing in yourself, and that's something that I needed at that time. And it's to make sure that you find something that you want to commit your life's work to, and whatever it is, be the best at it. Third thing, lastly, was to adhere to certain universal principles like beauty, love, and justice. That's inspired me to walk in beauty, to love others as I love myself, and to fight for fairness and justice for all. I'd like to first thank the Thornton Waltham Nation, which is the nation in which I'm a citizen of, and I'd like to thank the Buckeye Road community. It was certain things that I learned as a child, and that was the value and the importance of community. One thing about the Thornton Waltham Nation is that everybody is your family. If you were part of the Thornton Waltham Nation and you were a human being, you were part of our community. So I'd like to thank the Thornton Waltham Nation, Buckeye Road community as a whole. If Dr. King was here today, I'd hug him and I'd tell him thank you. Thank you for believing in change. Thank you for committing yourself to that change. And I would ask him, what do you think about the change that has occurred? And how do you feel about what's happened, since you started on your mission? Also, I'd like to ask him about his headspace. What was going on? What was that self-talk like? What did you tell yourself when you felt like you couldn't go on any further? Thank you, Dr. King, for loving me before I was even thought of. Thank you, Dr. King, for loving me so much that you have sacrificed so many things. You sacrificed your family. You sacrificed yourself for making sure that the world is a better place. And I thank you for that. Thank you, Dr. King.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. King. Thank you for being here. One thing that I always say is a service to the community is a service to yourself. And we're around and we're amongst a lot of people who are doing that today. I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing. I'm going to continue to serve because I understand that how important it is. It's because people served me that I am where I'm at today, and I'm going to serve other people because I want people to, like Ms. Erby said, live this same dream. Thank you all.
If you want to hear an incredible story, I would encourage you to take a few minutes to talk to this young gentleman. Congratulations again. Our final Arizona MLK Living the Dream Award honoree also has a great story. Dr. Will Moreland. Let's welcome Dr. Will Moreland.
Dr. King inspired me because he taught me that anybody can make a difference in the world. You don't need the majority, you just need one committed individual. And so Dr. King really inspired me that if I wanted to be the difference, then be the difference. My grandmother, Dr. Polly A. Gray, she was one of the ones that instilled in me that service to mankind is the best gift you can give back to the world. So just growing up in a small family, watching my grandmother serve the community, it really inspired me. And when I think about her, I would just love to thank her for all she instilled in me. If Dr. King were here today, he did a famous speech, I've been to the mountaintop. I would really love to ask him, what did he see when he got to the mountaintop? I would really love to explore that vision of what he saw back then on the mountaintop. Thank you, Dr. King, for being an example for a young black African-American man that I could make a difference here in this great country called America. I want to continue to honor your legacy by each and every day being a person of service, being a person of civility, and being the change that I want to see in this world. Thank you, Dr. King. My grandmother, years ago, she wrote a book about Dr. Martin Luther King, about him being the 21st century Moses to lead people into the promised land. And so when I heard that I was getting this award, I could only think about the legacy that my grandmother left for me as well. So to be named with Dr. Martin Luther King is a true honor, one that I will cherish for the rest of my life. So I want to thank everyone on the committee and everyone that had a hand in this award ceremony. I am truly honored to be an honoree this year for the MLK Living Your Dream Award. Dr. King, I want to thank you. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. In the words of Jay-Z, I'm just a corner boy with a corner office. I want to thank my grandmother, as I said in my remarks, my grandmother Polly, who taught me about servitude, who taught me about being a leader in the community. I would like to thank my wife and my family that allow me to travel this country to do what I love, impacting, inspiring, and influencing the nation. And I want to thank the state of Arizona for welcoming a transplant from Compton to come here to Arizona and live out my dream. Thank you to the committee and the nomination committee for honoring myself and all the other honorees. I thank every one of you for your service to humanity. And in the words of Martin Luther King, keep your dream alive. Thank you.
Congratulations to the Arizona MLK Living the Dream honorees, and thank you to SRP and Arizona Facts of Life for co-presenting these awards. As we invite our past Lifetime Achievement Award only, to join us on the stage. Just join us on each end of the stage in Lifetime Achievement Award honorees. We prepare for the presentation of the Arizona MLK Calvin C. Goode Lifetime Achievement Award by Pat Smart. So I want to thank our co-presenters. You can go ahead and take your seats. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I heard some rumbling in the back of the room, and what an honor for our Lifetime Achievement Award honoree to not only have the governor of the great state of Arizona join us, but to have the Phoenix Suns Gorilla. Let's welcome him, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give him a big round of applause. Come on now. We know how we do it. Elizabeth, I didn't get this treatment when I got my Lifetime Achievement Award. And we're going to see if we can get him to stay on stage for the presentation. All right. The Lifetime Achievement Award is named after 22-year Phoenix City Councilman Calvin C. Goode, recognizes an individual who has made Phoenix a better place to live by promoting social and economic justice and civil rights through a lifetime of service. Here with us are the two sons of the late Honorable Calvin C. Goode. We've asked them to join us on stage for the presentation of the Lifetime Achievement Award. Please welcome Mr. Gerald Goode and Mr. Vernon Goode. Let's welcome them to the stage. And at this moment, here to present the Lifetime Achievement Award, representing PetSmart, is the VP of Distribution, Mr. Chris Mara. Come on up, Chris.
Good morning. You know, I got some great advice from my 14-year-old. He says, Dad, if you trip getting on stage, just do the gritty. You know, they'll think it's a part of the show. So I am super grateful to be here with you today in honor of Dr. King and his powerful legacy. You know, events like this are so important for our community while our nation is faced with so many struggles. Progress in results of support of basic human and civil rights must be commemorated. So this morning, as we consider Dr. King's lasting impact, we also have the opportunity to recognize some individuals for their remarkable contributions to the continued efforts in making a difference and driving lasting change for our people of Arizona. PetSmart is a proud supporter of each of these year's award recipients and organizations in Phoenix that unite our community and celebrate diversity, inclusion, and equity. And congratulations to each of our Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Living the Dream honorees. And I'd also like to congratulate our MLK Calvin C. Goode Lifetime Achievement Award honoree, Elizabeth Paulus. We applaud you for your long-term dedication and lifetime of service to this community. Thank you so much. You know, at PetSmart, we believe in unconditional love, and this is a lesson that we learn from our pets every single day. And if you are not a pet parent, I guess I can give you another example. My children have unconditional love for my wallet. Maybe that resonates with you a little bit. But at PetSmart, it really is the heart of our culture, and we believe that our organization is strongest when people are united together. In fact, united together is one of our core values. And through this value, we put equity front and center, and we strive to foster an environment where people from diverse backgrounds can excel. And we know that by being united together, we can accomplish great things. In 2020, PetSmart made a commitment to take meaningful actions in support of Black associates and communities. And we've since enhanced our development and recruiting activities to expand in Black representation and increase grant funding from PetSmart charities to support pets and pet parents in underrepresented communities. We also established a $1 million scholarship fund to support associates of color and their dependents as they advance their educational aspirations. PetSmart is proud to support and participate in the ongoing community dialogue around social justice, diversity, inclusion, and equity in Arizona and beyond. And while we are here today as a sponsor, we also stand with you as a community partner and an ally. So congratulations again to all of our award recipients, and thank you for your selfless commitments to our community, and may Dr. King's legacy continue to light our path forward. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, your 2023 Calvin C. Goode Lifetime Achievement Award honoree, Elizabeth Paulus. Please turn your attention to the screen.
Dr. King inspires because of his tremendous courage and perseverance in a very, very difficult time in American history. And the lesson that he shared really was about the culture of love and kindness. We may make advances in technology, but sometimes we leave love and kindness lagging just a bit. And it isn't until somebody says, well, that doesn't make sense, that it opens the door for action using love and kindness, kind of the culture of morality. There have been, I have to say, 3 people that have really influenced me in my volunteerism. The first person, I was privileged to be the Adjutant General's assistant. His name is Major General Don Owens. And so we have a very great man that I remember so distinctly. When he was thinking through policy changes, he would always ask, how is this going to affect the soldier? Why? That phrase would come out of him, and it was constant, and it taught me about servant leadership. It taught me about what you do affects other people, and what you do should be for their betterment. So he's number one. A church pastor years ago probably doesn't even know he influenced me. I was sitting in church one day with this thought rolling in my mind about what could I do to make a difference, and he was saying, I know you're out there, just do it. So that was Cal Jernigan from my church. Probably doesn't even know he did that. The last person that influenced me in my volunteerism is my husband, Paulus, who has lifted me up through everything. I've been volunteering in this capacity for 12 years, and he's been there to keep me going and help with everything. If Dr. King were here today, I would ask him, what does that moment of despair look like for him? And how did he work his way through it so that it came out in positivity and making positive change? Thank you, Dr. King, for your leadership and your resoluteness and your sacrifice. You showed that a person can make a difference. Yours is a timeless legacy of what the human spirit can achieve through love and kindness. And thank you, Dr. King. Well, good morning, and thank you, committee, for this opportunity to be here today. Like everybody else, I am in awe of Dr. King and the courage and moral resoluteness that he showed in spite of everything that came before him. So to be even associated with that name is humbling. And I also had the privilege of knowing Calvin Goode when he was part of he had retired, but he was often in the city hall. I was a city employee also on the 14th floor, so I know the esteem that the city holds him in, and to be, again, associated with that is just truly an honor. So they say that it takes teamwork to make the dream work. And in College Bound, what we do is we help underrepresented students find their future through college education. And I'm fortunate to have some of my team here today, and I just want to recognize my husband's here, some of my board members, one of the students that is in the alum, and family friends. Would you mind standing up and just saying, hey? Come on, come on. Teamwork makes the dream work. Thank you. I couldn't do it without you. I couldn't do anything in College Bound without the corporate support that we've enjoyed, and I just want to give a shout out to those that have been with us on this long journey, 12 years of working with students. Part of that is Dignity Health and Cox Communication and the Thunderbird Charities, Mesa Hohokums. I think those are the major corporate sponsors, and I just want to say thank you to them. And you know, we together can make that difference. One person can make a difference. And I want to just leave you with this thought about when you are searching inside, listen to that voice of yours to see where it's going to take you, because it's going to take you on an amazing journey, and that is going to change lives. So get your team, right? And then just do it. So thank you again very much.
All right. What we're going to do is go ahead and dismiss our Lifetime Achievement Award honorees and our sponsors, and then we'll have some closing comments. But we do want to bring to the podium, we don't have a footprint for this because Calvin C. Goode passed away with us during the pandemic. But I did want to have an opportunity to bring his two sons up to say a few words before our closing. That's Gerald Goode and Mr. Vernon Goode. If you could please welcome them to the podium, please. Thank you.
Good morning. And I just want to say thank you to all who have supported my dad over the years. It's been 2 years now since he passed away, and we want to thank Phoenix OIC for all they've done. I want to say a special thank you to the city of Phoenix, where he served for 22 years and was a part of this breakfast. He spent his life fighting for freedom, for justice, for all, in terms of equality, equity, housing, education. He stood for those things, and I appreciate all that the city continues to do to honor our dad with this legacy award. And I also want to say a special thank you to the city of Phoenix, who put on a fabulous homegoing service 2 years ago during the pandemic. We didn't know how all this was going to come together, and we want to thank all those that were involved in that. So.
I think Gerald said quite a bit of what I was thinking of saying. I do want to again reiterate his his thoughts, about his thankfulness to all of you. We continue to hear from the city of Phoenix those positive comments about my dad, and we're just we feel blessed to be a part of this community, to be around him. There's not a day that goes by that we don't miss him, and we're just so thankful that we got to see the Insight trek. For Elizabeth, I think you should know that he was a strong proponent, both he and my mom, strong proponents of education. And oftentimes you didn't see that. It happened behind the scenes. People came up to him, people came to the house. There were times when friends were they were about to lose their ability to continue on with their education. And they helped. There wasn't any fanfare. And I didn't even realize it till years later. My friends would come to me and say, if it hadn't been for your mom and dad, I would not have made it through college. I would have not have made it to college. And so we're just so thankful. I know he would be so pleased to see today's honoree. And I also want to give a shout out to, interesting, Dad was on the city council for 22 years, and the family's over at table 22. So we shout out to all the family at table 22, to all of you here. We're just so pleased that we've had this opportunity to continue to witness the honor for our dad and to continue on the honor for his hero, Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Gerald and Vernon. As we come to the close of our program, I share this with you. I was once told you can preach a better sermon with your life than with your lips, because effort outpaces intent every single time. Good hearts intend to help all the time. Good hearts intend to give back all the time. Good hearts intend to serve others all the time. However, with no action to support those good intentions die a slow death. Good hearts plus the efforts is evident today by our honorees. You see, none of us can do everything, but everybody can do something. You may never know who will stand up with you if you don't stand up first. Those of you brave enough to choose a life of service, please know this: everybody that came with you won't go with you, I promise you. Community service and helping others and your fellow man is not for everybody, but because some people confuse their goals with their purpose. Our task right now is to have a sense of possibility that we in 2023 can write a better story for our 2024 and into the future. We want to thank the governor for being with us today, Phoenix Mayor Kate Gallego, all of our sponsors and supporters and speakers. I just want to say thank you all for coming today. God bless you all, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you.